Welcome to today's episode. I was just getting ready to record an intro from atop that mountain as the sun was setting, and I saw a zombie walking towards my villagers that happened to trap themselves in this pen, and then I had to jump down to, in air quotes, save them. We lost one. That said, I only saw 2 of them in here prior, and then somehow there were 5. There's almost more villagers in this pen than there were cows. I'm going to start out with a summary of what's happened between episodes. You can clearly see that this swamp that was here before, I've done a significant amount of deforestation in attempts to gather sticks to trade with I want to say Fletchling, but that's a Pokemon. Fletchers? Yeah, Fletchers. To trade with them and get emeralds, so I could get these diamond tools that you can see I'm using from these guys. He doesn't have one yet, but this guy, we got lucky at the very end. We got a fortune efficiency diamond pickaxe, and we got an efficiency shovel, which were very helpful in a little bit of mining that I decided to do. Because while I was waiting for some trees to grow after I had deforested all of this, I decided to go and do some mining, which I believe I did over here. This led me to an underwater cave, as you can see, and eventually I dug through that underwater cave because I didn't want to swim around underwater without depth strider or any type of water breathing. And that led me to digging this staircase up from here, which leads down to a zombie spawner, where I believe I found my first name tag. So we can name that frog now. And we can also name a cat if I can find them. There were several cats in this village who have disappeared along with the forest, so I'll have to look around to try to find them again. But I did some fishing as well. I think I went through 2 or 3 regular fishing rods. I was hoping I would fish up an enchanted fishing rod, but I never did. But I did find a name tag while fishing, and these are just diamond hose randomly that I got from them trying to level them up. While I was mining after the zombie spawner, I attempted to, I believe it was just like a small strip mine. I was trying to find a couple diamonds, and then I ended up in a cave. But I found a geode that I harvested the majority of before returning here. And on my way back, you can see there's a saddle here. You could see it from the top of there, but there's actually a second village inside this mangrove forest, or another mangrove forest just across some water right over here. And there is a second village where we might end up getting that cat that we might name. There's a calico cat and a farm pen inside the mangrove forest over there that I would like to go and tame. Because I've seen so many different cat variants in the short amount of time that I've been playing in this world. And I believe there's an achievement for finding all of the different types of cats. The whole pack, tame one. Oh, that's wolves. So I'm not sure where it is. I thought there was an achievement, but even if there's not, it would be kind of cool to gather all of the cats. So I might have just scrolled over it somewhere, but I will collect the cats. And we might look into getting a horse, or we might get a pig. But today I'm going to be working on some building. I want to terraform more of this village now that I've deforested it. There is a large hole over here that I have yet to explore for caving, and I think it would be cool. I tried to cover it up a little bit, so I'm trying to make it more circle shaped. But there is an anime airing right now called Cleventis or Cleventis, and I'm gonna take a bit of inspiration from it. There is a deep sea monster, and then there's like a mine shaft type of thing that goes deep into the ground, and there's an ancient sword at the bottom of it and whatnot. And I was thinking that I might do some type of drill here for mining into the ground, and then it might have some secret paths underneath this village. And then I might try to do some type of rendition of the monsters that are in the lake. I believe that the water over here in this lake go deep down. It might not be the best spot over here. It might just end up being somewhere else. But there is a deep, relatively deep, I guess it's not too deep, dip in this lake over here. But I'm not sure how well that would go, considering I do intend to build somewhat of a castle here, and then have some type of port along the backside that extends out to that other village in the, it's not a swamp, mangrove forest that leads over there. I think that's my general census for this area, is there's going to be the large castle here that branches off into multiple districts. I'm not sure about this direction yet. I haven't really explored over here, but I do know that I want to encompass the village over here, and I decided I'm gonna make a mayor, I guess, or an overseer of this area. His house is going to sit on this hill over here, right where this small house is. You wouldn't think much of this house. It's just a regular dude's house, but my thoughts are he would oversee and gain riches from here, and then he would also have the best view of my castle from here, because these houses, I mean, this clearly isn't stable ground. I could fill in this ground, but what's more likely going to happen is I'm going to tear this down. I might tear this down, and then I will rebuild some type of housing over here. And then this used to have fencing. I removed all of the fencing because this used to be a horse pen, and I will probably turn this into a more larger, in a sense, I guess, farming area. I say farming, but animals, other than just the pen that I have down there of cows. I would like to include something here that just has some of each of the animals. So the cows, the pigs, and chickens and whatnot, and then whatever decorations around them. I'm not sure how I'm going to tie that into down here. I don't want to get rid of the well. I intend to keep that there as somewhat of a centerpiece, although it's probably not going to be in the center per se. But over here, where I originally started digging down, I know I added this pillar here because I was thinking about doing a drop-down water elevator to where the zombie spawner is, but I want to build a dungeon-like cave entrance here that swerves around and comes along where the zombie spawner is, and then there's a potential chance that those cave offshoots will have decorated coves, cove might not be the word, crevices underground that lead towards that larger drill mine over there. And then leading up to this cave is where I would have my station here for different resources that you might need before going into like a dungeon. There would be merchants, in a sense, kind of like what I just have all thrown in here with the toolsmiths and the Fletchers, and then I have one weaponsmith here that I haven't traded with the lock-in yet, which it appears this changed. This was actually a decent sword earlier, but then I realized it's like, hey, it's iron, but it did have sharp looting and I think unbreaking or sweeping edge, one of the two. But it did have 3 relatively good enchants. But before I do all of that building and terraforming, I was thinking to myself, you know, I have these efficiency 2 tools. It'd be nice if I could merge them. So I had gone and I mined some iron to get this anvil. But rather than merging them all, it'd be nice to have an enchanting table. But I didn't have obsidian. And then it's just my luck that when I was doing my last bit of deforestation over here, I started to hear the bubbling of lava, and I was like, no, there's no way. I didn't see any, because this is the way I came from when I approached this village, because you can see it's like there's my frog. I swam in and came in this way. But I could hear the bubbles, and even though it's not exposed, There's a lava pool right here. That's what this stone is for. You can hear it before I even come really close. So I have this water here, and I'm not sure if I want to just build a nether portal in here with the lava, but at the very least I can turn the lava hopefully into enough obsidian, which it looks like there's a lot, because I obviously haven't checked it before now. I can turn this into the obsidian I need rather than going back underground. So I can make an enchanting table, because I do have lots of levels for mining and trading with the villagers. So we're gonna do that now. So I went a little above and beyond, and I decided to mine out every bit of obsidian that could spawn in this cave, and this is our results. We got just a little bit over a stack and a half almost. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use it all for yet, but I'm sure I'll use it eventually. I know that undersea monster that I was talking about is a darker purple black color, so there's a potential chance that I could use the obsidian for that. Otherwise I would need to get concrete or some other type of dark block, maybe deep slate in addition, but we'll see. I know it'll be useful eventually. Just right now we really only need 4 for the enchanting table, and I guess 10 for a portal unless you wanted to do corners. I'm probably gonna waste 4 and do corners, so we'll leave the others in here and then go from there. I do not have a book, but as you can see, I do have a lot of sugarcane. My shortage here is going to be leather, because I only have a few cows. So actually, the best thing to do here, rather than turning all of this sugarcane into paper for books, which is what I had originally planned to, it might be better for me to try making a librarian. And then I can buy all my bookshelves with emeralds from the sticks that I'm going to get from my wood. Which I still might end up needing to go get more wood, but there's also, where is it? There's the fish. I got a nautilus shell, I got some other random fish. Hopefully for taming those cats that I wasn't able to tame earlier on. And then I had 2 leads because an invisible wandering trader decided to spawn behind me while I was fishing. And let's just say I valued his leads a little more than I valued him. So I need 1 book. I should have 1 leather here somewhere, no? Okay, I have 12, so I do have some leather. And I only need the 1 book for the enchanting table. 4 obsidian, 2 diamonds. And I'll probably just throw it here temporarily while I'm designing the rest of the village. I do know that I want to build a house for myself somewhere over in this general location on this little plot of land here. I don't think that I want to get rid of these bridges, and I don't want to completely remove the swamp. I don't want to get rid of all the water. I do want it to be somewhat watery, but I do have to deal with the dark shade of the water compared to the water over there because it is a swamp. I'm going to have to figure out how I can make a swamp feel slightly more vibrant, since it's not the most ideal location for a kingdom or a town. But I think I am going to replace all of this wood with slabs instead, because I'd like there to be some space underneath the bridge in the water, and I'll probably drop the water by a level or 2, and then I can decorate the bottom of the waterbed with more vibrant blocks and contrast that with mud like what's in the mangrove biomes, and then I think that will start to make it look a little bit nicer and then suitable for villager life. But I am going to need more villagers, considering I want to not just refurbish the housing here, I want to expand and fill most of this zone in with housing before the lead up to wherever a palace entrance is to what's up there. I haven't completely decided what I'm going to build it out of. I will probably make use of the white blocks that I got from the geode. And I'll probably want some type of quartz, but before that I do need to decide if the wall that I plan to build is like a barricade wall might not be the right term. I don't plan on making a wall to wall off the palace per se, but it's going to appear as a wall. I think that might be a retention wall that I can build a platform on top of in order to build the palace-like structure that I want here, and then maybe a branch off tower here that has a good view over this area, the village over there, and then whatever I end up doing on the back side of this, which I have yet to look into. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get resources for bookshelves, and then I will return and we can get our enchants, and then I can look into doing some terraforming and maybe starting at the very least a first housing structure over here. Okay guys, I just had the most insane luck. I was rolling a villager and then this other guy just randomly walked in from behind and took over the job, so I stuffed him in here and made a second lectern. And the first guy, I got an efficiency 5. And I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And it's so cheap too. It was only 18 and then it dropped to 16 because he leveled up and was like happy or whatever. And then right after he leveled up, I see it's like, oh, this guy's like the perfect pickaxe villager. He has efficiency 5, fortune 2 for 11. That's fortune 3. Well, I guess it's 13, but 26 or less emeralds gets me fortune 3 that I can pair with this efficiency 5. And then right after I got him, I did 2 cycles on the other guy, and for 12, now 10 emeralds, I have mending. So I just have everything I need in 2 villagers. Eventually I'll need silk touch, but I'm sure I can get that from an enchant, and I'm sure I'll get other villagers. I did skip over a density 5. I'm not sure how good or how rare that is. That, I believe, is only a mace enchant. And since I haven't been to a trial chamber in my life, I have no mace. So I can worry about getting that another time. So after that last clip, I realized that the 2 villagers that I have, and the main purpose for me originally getting them was to get more bookshelves for the enchanting table. And neither of them sell me bookshelves. So I got this third guy who also doesn't sell bookshelves, but I haven't locked him in yet, so now we can cycle him until we get a bookshelf trade, and then I'll be able to do some enchanting before I go and decide where I'm putting farms. Okay, so we're back and we're over here. This is just on the other side of that mountain relative to our village, which we can see over in the distance. This is where I have decided I'm going to build our iron farm. And I have resources that I believe I need here aside from a lava bucket, which I have a bucket for here. And I happen to notice that I think that is a ruined portal in the distance, so I'm gonna run over there and see if I can't get to the bucket of lava that I'm going to need for this. Two lodestones. Silk touch gold hoe. Mending gold hoe. I don't think I'm gonna put on the curse of binding chest plate though. And I don't hear lava pops, so I might be out of luck. Maybe you could just stay here, bro? No, get in the water. I want you to live. No way the first one can carry something. Let's go. So I'm capturing him because I need to use him in the iron farm to make the villagers afraid. That way they increase the spawn rate for the iron golems. And I was just going to name tag one of the zombies to make it not despawn. But supposedly giving him an item will also stop him from despawning. So the fact that he held a carrot is pretty freaking awesome. Now I just need to get transportation for him, and then I could bring him over there. Which actually, you know what might be big brain? I don't have enough resources to give him a helmet. I was thinking maybe if I threw a helmet on the ground, he would wear the helmet. And then I wouldn't need to worry about transportation. I could just walk over there and make him follow me. But for now, he's gonna have to chill right there. Okay, with our lava bucket here, this should be all the resources we need. I wasn't sure which blocks I wanted to use for the excess just foundation blocks. This might be a poor use of my calcite and amethyst, but it is, unironically, the block that I have most of on hand, even more so than cobblestone or dirt or even wood. So it's what I decided to use. I have 5 stacks of each for building my iron golem village breeder. I'm referencing this breeder from another YouTuber called Impulse SV. I will link the video I watched of his and that I'm going to rewatch as I build this, in case anyone wants proper directions on how to build it themselves, because I thought it was pretty neat. So we might have gotten distracted just a few times. I stopped at one point because I remembered I had a water bottle and I decided to use it to turn a large majority of the dirt here all into mud. And then while we were waiting for sugarcane to grow and villagers to reset so we could get the rest of our bookshelves, which are placed down now and ready for level 30 enchants, we came over here and we built up our villager iron farm, and here's the grand reveal. It's not 100% complete, the foundation is all down, but here it is. It's nice and pretty. It's got the purple, it's got the white. That purple block there does need to be replaced with glass at some point, but I need to smelt more glass because I ended up having to break some, and I believe I had to leave it open because I had to go in there again to dig out blocks that I was using as a scaffolding so I could fix stuff inside. It does still need the zombie to be moved up here, and it does still need 4 villagers that I will have to bring up here. I don't have a lot of minecart railing. There is some down by my zombie spawner because it's next to a mine shaft, but other than that, I don't have many options. I might try to use a boat to lure them up here. If that doesn't work, I don't know, I'll figure something out, but the gist of it is a villager goes here, a villager goes here, a villager goes here, a farmer goes up there. The farmer will throw carrots that he farms onto these villagers. These villagers will then breed. The tiny villagers will be able to walk across these trap doors into these other beds, and then instead of actually getting to the bed, they will fall into the water, which for some reason this is down. And then when they fall down here, because this spot, there's going to be a zombie floating in the air right here, I'm going to have to place some more trapdoors. and the zombie will be able to see the villagers, and the villagers will panic, and that will spawn iron golems on this water platform that will get pushed down here. And because iron golems are 3 high, they will burn in the lava, and they will get pushed into these hoppers, which I will have a chest outlet for on the side here. And the villagers will be fine. They will just fall down here into the water and get pushed to the side, where eventually I will have minecart railing set up in order for us to press a button and then have a villager just pop out right here and be ready to get shipped off to whichever corner of the kingdom I decide he needs to go to. And then it will be complete. Okay, I ran out of spare villagers at my primary village, so I came over to the village that I mentioned was on the other side of that forest, and I am stealing 4 villagers from here to use for my breeder. We were able to successfully finish putting our spawner together. We got all of the villagers in, and we got the zombie in. It is not the same zombie that I originally caught in that mini dirt hut over there. That one made it all the way up here just for it to burn to death right there because I put a golden helmet on it. And the golden helmet, I'm going to guess, broke because it had low durability, and I didn't realize that the zombie being in the daylight ticked down the durability of their equipment. So the gold helmet inevitably broke, and then he started burning to death, and there was no way for me to save him before he died. This one won't hold an item like the other one did, so I don't know if this one will despawn or if the full leather armor that it spawned in with will be enough, because he spawned in just near the farm. I went over there, and you can see there's a golem that just spawned, so it is already working. But I went over there and blocked up the villagers just to be safe during the night, and then came back over here so I could lure this zombie into his trap. And I'm probably going to get a name tag to name him just to be safe, because it would suck to have to put another one in there after this one's already there. I'm even covering him with the block, knowing that his leather helmet might just expire and he could burn to death at some point. I will change that block to a more aesthetically pleasing one rather than a piece of netherrack, but it's what I had on hand, so it's what was going to have to do for now, just to make sure the farm is up and running and working. Now I can move these chests down here. I will... Oh, Jesus Christ. Hi, dude. What's up? You don't belong there. This sheep is broke. Sheep is trying to get me killed, man. He's gonna take a hit for the creeper. Add some more lighting down here. I will spiffy this up a bit at some point. Right now, the important part is that it's working. I haven't seen them breed yet, which is a little bit concerning. But they did drop carrots on them, so it might just be a matter of them not having enough carrots in their inventories yet, so they may start doing stuff eventually. I need to bring more of these blocks up here to extend this platform, and then I will build a chest wall right here. I'm gonna have to reposition this hopper in order for that to work. But other than that, the farm is set. We are going to start farming infinite iron. We will have lots of villagers to disperse about our kingdom, and everything will be dandy. The last thing I want to do in this episode is enchant some tools that I kept saying I was going to do, and then getting distracted and inevitably getting into the farm building. So we're going to go over here really quick. I think I only have 9 diamonds, so I can't make a lot of new tools. But I can use this grindstone over here if I want. And I have a fresh pickaxe here, Fortune 1 Efficiency 2. So I'll do a fresh pickaxe. I will... Do I have any diamond axe that I can get really quick? Or no? Well, I'll have to make a diamond axe, but that's not that big of a deal. My diamonds down here, did I leave them up on the mountain? They're down here, cool. Because I will want a better diamond axe just for the purpose of mining wood for building, and 2 for turning into sticks to trade with the traders. One of my next projects is going to be a sugarcane farm, so I can get paper to easier trade with all of my librarians. I am going to get some of these guys, the toolsmiths, up at the farm over there. That way they're nearby and I can trade with them the iron that I get from that farm over there. And then I can build some type of building within the castle in regards to the toolsmiths and like a barracks over there. But for now we're going to try to do a pickaxe, we're going to try to do an axe, and I have 6 more. So I guess a sword and maybe some boots? Sword and some boots sounds pretty good to me. I do have plenty of lapis. I think I'll make an extra chest. Or maybe I have one sitting around. I know my wood is a bit crazy right now. I'm always using it. Okay, I'll worry about that another time. I will just dump a bunch of unnecessary things in here for now. Cartography table I yoinked from the other village when I was moving villagers. Same with the compass. I found that in a chest next to the cartographer's table. I'm going to start setting up compasses with lodestones at different places I build in the world. So whenever I need to go to one, I can just take the compass and fly away, assuming I get the elytra. Oh, I have chests right here. I'm blind, bro. Okay, so I guess we'll put this here, and then I can fill this with lapis. Lapis lazuli. I'll need these. And let's see what our first enchants are. We have Unbreaking 3 on the sword. Efficiency 4 on the pick. I have an Efficiency 5 book that I can trade for, so I'm not terribly worried about that. I think I'm going to go for Efficiency 4 on the axe first. And it's just straight up Efficiency 4. I think this guy's going to be out of a job for a little bit. I'll give him another grindstone at some point. But we need this one now. So if we put it here, I don't need to worry about having Efficiency 4 on this. I want primarily Unbreaking 3. Fortune 3. So that should be the same on the pick. Yes, it is. Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. Perfect, right there. I can either get another Efficiency 4 one now, or I can just get a mending book for 10 emeralds, and then I can have a perfect pickaxe, other than the netherite. Let's check out the booties. Prot 3, not really interested. Sweeping Edge 3. I'm not sure if that's better than just sharpness. I know that'd be good for like a mob farm sword, but I don't know if that's something I want in general. We'll go with Unbreaking 3 on the axe. Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 3. I have 35 levels, so I have at least 2 more attempts, I believe. So I am going to recycle the axe and see what I get. Fortune 2. I don't really want Fortune on an axe. I'd rather have Silk Touch. Let's check out the sword. Unbreaking 3 on the sword. Depth Strider 3. I don't believe that there's a Depth Strider 4, so I'm going to go with Depth Strider 3. Depth Strider 3, Prot 3, Unbreaking 3. Okay, that's pretty good. We can upgrade that to Prot 4. I'm not sure if Prot 5 is in the game. I think it just goes to Prot 4. So those are some really good boots. Depth Strider, Unbreaking. Now we can check the sword. Knockback 2. or efficiency 4. And it's just efficiency 4, no one breaking again. That's unlucky, but that's going to be what we have to deal with for now, because I don't have 30 levels now, and this one's sharp 3, it's not even sharp 4, so unlucky. This will just have to be what it is for now. I'll try to get more enchants for the next video. During the next one, I believe I'm going to look into building a sugarcane farm if it's not too expensive for redstone. I know it requires pistons and some observers. I'm not sure how to make those, but in the next episode we will also look for our missing pets. I did find the locations of some of them and we'll be going to retrieve them. They're in some caves over there. I know where at least 2 of the cats are, and I think I found one of those armadillo things in the field over there, if I remember correctly, when I got distracted after doing my mud filling expedition. So it'd be nice to get some of those, because I know you can build armor, I think, for wolves eventually, but there was only one where I think they're called scoots, not armadillos. So we will look into getting a scoot in the next episode, and then I'll do some brainstorming on how I want to decorate and cover up the farm. So thank you for watching. Like if you liked, subscribe if you want to keep up to date on the series. There will be a link for the videos in the description. There will be a playlist, and have a good rest of your days.